Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to give you, and I'm going to call this my thoughts. It's still of a review, just my thoughts on this particular bass guitar, which is the one on the right. It is the Samick Greg Bennett model Corsair CR-1 P bass. And I'm going to tell you right out the gate, just about, and I set it up this way so you guys can see my jazz bass and my Samick bass, Greg Bennett Samick bass. And at first glance, actually even at longer glance, the Samick looks much smaller. It's like it's a small scale bass. Actually, it's not. It's just that the body is smaller, but the necks on both of these guitars are the same standard height. And that's one thing I like about Greg Bennett designs. He thinks out the box instead of him to do it just like everybody else. I'm going to give you something totally different. And again, the necks are the same length. The headstocks is smaller, as you can see, and the body is smaller. I love this guitar. You know, for the price, you can't beat it, because for the price of this guitar, you think you'll get kind of a cheap guitar. This is a well-built designed guitar. And I ran across well, before I say that, I'm gonna say this. I like a smaller bass, you know. I mean, I'm getting the same neck and the same length from the top of the fretboard to the bottom. I like a smaller neck. I like a smaller body because it's lighter. Because the CR Marcus Miller guitars, everybody rave about them because they're designed for his playing style as far as slap bassing. But the problem that most people that I've ran into or talked to, they said, I love it, but it's too damn heavy. This bass is extremely heavy. And I'm like, I want just the opposite of heavy. I want something lightweight. I don't want anything anchoring me down. And like I said, I like the fact that, you know, it's a totally different design, and it's relatively inexpensive, because again, I think these basses may be brand new, about maybe $170. And you would think for $170 you don't get that much bass, but actually get a pretty good bass. I ran across a jazz bass version of this guitar. The guy only wanted $124 plus I think $40 shipping and handling, and I was dragging feet. And the next day I got up, I said, let me go ahead and put my bid in and get this guitar today. And it said make an offer, so it's just $10 less off of it. And I'm like, most likely you take less than 10, just a little 10 off the top. And as soon as I put in my bid, I got an email back from Reverse saying your offer has been declined because the item is no longer available. So in essence, someone else bought it. And again, I should have grabbed it when I first seen it, because I communicated with him about the action. He said the action's pretty good. So I'm like, okay, because that's one thing that I ask now, more so than ever, because ain't nothing worse than high action and you can't play it and it's uncomfortable. Because as we get older, we realize things the way they are. Because when I was in my 20s, the first thing that appealed to me about a guitar is gotta look good. Whose name on the headstock? Where did it come from? I don't give a damn about none of that anymore. My first concern is the action, how good it feels to play. Okay, everything else is secondary. Everything else is secondary. Versus again, it looks good, but it feels terrible to play. So that's my thing these days. I ask them, like, how does it feel to play? And this guitar feels good to play. The action, and this is a used one, and I'm sure when it was brand new, the action was even lower, but it's comfortable. I mean, it's not real high and it's not low, unfortunately. It's somewhere in the middle. It's like kind of the standard height. But I got nothing but praise for this guitar, especially for the price. Because again, normally you spend $100 on a guitar, especially a bass guitar, you're gonna get some junk. You can find some pretty decent lead guitars for about $120, $130 brand new, like Jay Tercey guitars. But it's very hard to find a pretty good bass for that price, But my thoughts on it is, I like it. I mean, I like it a lot. I like this so much that I was trying to get the jazz version of it, because this is a P bass version. But I drug my feet, and I did drag my feet. And still, once he gave me the green light, said, hey, it feels good to play. I should have bought it right then. But I waited 2 days, and then I woke up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy it now. Somebody else beat me to it. And I priced the other ones, the Samick bass guitars, like, this design, the small body. And everybody else wanted an overinflated price. Because again, brand new, they're about $170, and I seen them for $300 and $275. I'm like, these don't cost that much, no. But you got some people that either one or two things. They have no idea what they're selling. They don't have no idea the value, or they just trying to overinflate the price to get as much as they want. And any seasoned musician knows kind of the price of guitars. You might scam a beginner, but when you're a professional or just somebody that plays and knows a lot about the instruments that they play, it's kind of hard to pull the wool over their eyes. But on certain sites like Reverb, and I like Reverb, I especially like the customer service staff. Those guys, they take care of their business. But they got a lot of people that sell on their site that just want ridiculous prices for the guitars. You go on eBay, it's like $60 to $100 cheaper in some cases. But that's to each his own. But again, my thoughts on this particular bass, I like it. I give it 2 thumbs up, especially for the price. And I like the fact, again, that Greg Barnett is thinking outside the box and say, let me do something different than everybody else. Because it was a good idea to shave down that big old headstock, which, creates some additional weight to a smaller little headstock like that. Again, the neck is the same size as the Jazz bass. It's just that the body is smaller and the headstock's smaller. And it feels good to play, and it sounds good. I'll leave a link down here because I did a couple of covers with this particular bass. And I like the way that the inlays lay. It's like, first time I seen that kind of design was on the Billy Sheehan model of the Yamaha guitar. It's like they're getting creative, and still I'm giving you the same thing as these other 500 guitar makers are giving you, If I were to design a guitar, I would think like that too. To say, okay, let me give you something that everybody else isn't. Well, let me put a spin on what everybody else is doing, be a little creative. But I'm going to sign off now. But again, hey, thumbs up. 2 thumbs up for that guitar. I like it. Till next time, take care and thanks for watching.